Today I am just sharing kind of my favorite little sequence on the OOV. So if you have an OOV at home, try this out. This is kind of my favorite. I love, for me, the OOV, I feel like it just lengthens my back out. It stretches things that I don't normally get stretched in other places or exercises. So when I'm feeling tight or a little achy, or this is my favorite first thing in the morning kind of thing to do, this is what I like to do. So I'm going to take you through it today. Try it out. If you have an OOV at home, let me know what you think. So first of all, you're going to want to lay on your OOV, and you know that takes a little maneuvering sometimes. For me, I like to come way down to the end of it and get all centered and then roll back. And I have a little pillow. I usually put a little pad. I usually need a little bit of something under my head to find my kind of good alignment on there. And the first thing I usually do is just to lay on the OOV. I mean, just let yourself be here and just settle in for a moment. All right, take some long, big breath. And my goal here is usually to not work, because it's not always the most comfortable thing when I first get on here. If you're getting on here and you're like, oh, is this supposed to feel good? Sometimes I feel a little tightness in my hips and my back. But as I'm here, the more I can kind of just let go and settle in and kind of let the OOV do its job, I start to feel better. So let's just take 3 big breaths here. Long, big inhale. Long, big exhale. As you're taking those breaths, for me, I have to remind myself with my hips to not work, to not try to tuck or do anything, to just let go and kind of see what happens. And again, for me, I feel some stretches. I feel some stuff going on as I'm doing that. All right, I'm going to take my hands to the mat. And after I'm feeling kind of comfortable just being there, I always want to bring a little awareness to my belly pulling in, right? That core engagement is definitely going to help us without overworking anywhere else, without overly pushing through my legs or doing too much of anything else. Kind of just engage my core and be on there. And then I'm going to just start with some arm circles where I'm just inhaling kind of nice and slow as I do this. And then exhale as I open in circle. So I think of this as kind of exploratory movement. I'm getting to lay on the OOV, which just laying on it stretches out my spine. And then I'm just kind of exploring what happens when I lift my arms up and I open in circle. And noticing the little adjustments my body has to make to kind of stay balanced. Noticing my stomach muscles engaging. For me, I notice too that sometimes other things want to kick on and work when maybe they don't necessarily need to. So I'm just kind of checking in on that. I'm going to do one more breath there, one more circle. And then I'm just going to switch directions and go the other way. Inhaling as I'm reaching my arms out and around. Exhale as those arms come back up. And I continue to just let my shoulder blades kind of settle in on the OOV as I'm circling the arms. I also like to kind of focus, I'm going to say, on my head and my tail end. So my hips are anchored, they're heavy. My head is heavy. And that to me just creates a little bit of length through my spine, through my back as I'm here. I'm going to do 2 more here. One last big circle. When you come around, I'm going to stop and do my puppet arms, where my arms are straight. Just settled in. I'm checking in with my hips and my head again. And then I'm going to lift my shoulders up and see kind of how far up I can lift them. And then I'm going to let them settle back in. this gives me a little awareness of kind of what's going on with those muscles in between my shoulder blades. Usually I'll feel a little tightness. It feels like a little massagey work. It is. Lift and lower. The more I do them, the more I can kind of feel a little bit more range. And then I'm going to let my shoulders just settle in around the OOV, and I'm going to open the arms out to the side. Again, kind of nice and slow so I can just feel things. Inhale, open. Exhale to come back up. Long, big inhale. I still have a little awareness of my center muscles working, my belly pulling up and in. And then the rest of me just getting to kind of drape here on the OOV and stretch out. I'm going to do one more like that. And then I'm going to make it a little more balance work, and I'm going to do one arm at a time. These always feel like more work. The stomach muscles have to engage. One arm goes out and comes back. I'm noticing, like, can I engage my core and not try to move my pelvis a whole bunch as my arm goes out and in. Sometimes my instinct is to do a little pelvic tuck to start to figure out how to stabilize. So I have to remind myself just to pull my stomach muscles in, keep my feet lightly engaged throughout these. I'm going to do one more on each side on there. Breathing, taking your time as you're moving. It's kind of the beauty of the OOV, of like just like slowing your movement down, noticing what you're feeling. And then I'm going to take my arms beside me, and then I'm going to do just a little psoas lengthener, I'm going to call it. I'm going to bend my leg into tabletop. I'm going to stretch my leg straight with my foot flexed, and I'm going to slowly lower my leg down. Slow, slow, slow. Warning, the lower you get, kind of the more work this feels like to go slow and not just plop your leg down. I am still keeping my stomach muscles engaged. This feels like a stretch for me in that like front of the hip. When I get to the bottom, I'm going to stay there a little bit. I'm going to slide my heel away from me, and that feels a little more stretchy. And then I'm going to bend it back in and do it again. Kick it up, flexed foot, super slow, lower down. Let my body relax over the OOV a little bit, keep my core tight, stretch my legs, slow in that end range. When I get down, 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 maybe find my floor, I'm going to stay there, maybe slide my heel out a little bit more so I'm still engaging my muscles. And then I'm going to bend it back in. I'm going to take a couple more. I don't know why, but I love 4 of these. Seems to be like my number. I do 4 of them. It's just about perfect to lengthen. I can feel the muscles stretch out. It releases my back. Again, that's just my magic number. You can do as many as you want. I'm going to reach my heel away and then bend it back in. All right, I got one more there. Bend it in. Kick the leg up, flex the foot, slow, lower down. I always like to, as I'm coming down, check in. Am I kind of relaxed in my neck and shoulders? Because for me, that's a place I tend to like tense up to try to help my body do hard things. I gotta relax there. Super slow, it's my last one. I'm gonna take it super slow in that bottom range. When I get down there, I'm gonna stay there and keep sliding my heel away, pushing through it, pulling my toes back. I'm going to take a little extra stretchy moment here. I'm just going to hold it a little longer and check in with the rest of my body, relax it. And then I'm going to slide it back in. Hopefully that leg and hip feels all stretched out. And now I got to do the other side. Always arms can be here. Sometimes I like this, like hands on my kind of rib cage hip area as well. From just an awareness standpoint, it still feels nice and stable, but I can kind of feel my hips if they want to tip away. I can check in with my belly, make sure I'm pulling it up and in. And I'm just doing that slow lower I'm coming down, I'm getting my heel down, I'm sliding it away from me a little extra. Feels really stretchy for me in that hip, even up into my abdominals a little bit. Bend your leg in, kick the leg up, slow lower down. And again, do your check-ins as you're coming down. Is my neck a little relaxed? And my front of the chest and shoulders, my core is engaged, but I'm just lengthening my whole back on that OOV as you lower down. When you get to the bottom, you can do that slide out a little extra and then come back in. I think we got 2 more here. Bend it in, kick it up, slow lower back down. Slow, slow, slow. For me, this always feels like more work in that like about here down. The bottom like third of it. Stomach muscles pulling in. I just want to let it plop, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna reach to my heel, maybe slide it away from me, and then do it one more time. Bend it in, kick the leg up, super slow, lower down. Stomach muscles in, ease in our neck. On that last one, slow, slow, slow at the bottom. We're gonna stay a little longer. Reach the heel away, stretch, stretch, stretch. Big breath, and then coming back in. And then always my favorite part after this little series is just to kind of roll off to the side, take my OOV out, and just lay down and just kind of feel my back on the mat, all just lengthened out, like we've just like grown an inch or 2. So hopefully you enjoyed that or played around with some of those things on your OOV at home. Let me know how it goes, and I'll see you again soon.